All right, everybody, we're back with a brand new Cabral Concept. This is episode 3282 of the show. I want to bring you a nutrient that almost no one talks about. I don't think that it gets its due that it deserves, and that is because it helps with so many things. I'm going to go through the top 10 as we age. Believe it or not, it has so much to do with the health and vitality of our body, our metabolism, and even anti-aging based skin, hair, etc. that I'll be talking about. So let's dive right into it. The nutrient's name is selenium. So if you haven't heard of selenium, well, here is what it is good for. Number one, the first one is this: it reduces oxidative stress. Why is this important? Well, one of the number one factors for all of aging on the inside and outside is basically rusting of the body, like rusting of a vehicle, of a car, any of these things. As we get older, we begin to rust. It shows up as wrinkles and hair loss and muscle loss and all these things, right? So it's important. Well, oxidative stress, even the little spots on our skin can be from oxidative stress. Well, selenium is, believe it or not, used as part of the detox process in our body and used at producing one of the main antioxidants, and that's glutathione peroxidase, or that's basically what it is. GPX is what it's referred to for short. Why this is so important is this goes around and scavenges free radicals in our body before they create cellular damage and aging. All right, so that's number one. Number two is that it boosts our immune system in a healthy way. It doesn't overly boost it, but it allows for normal cytokine-based production. So if we have a virus or we have something of that nature, we respond in kind with a normal, not over-inflammatory process, but enough of an inflammatory process in order to mark and find that antigen, create antibodies naturally, and destroy that. So really important. Number three, this is one of the main uses that most people, if you've heard of selenium, one of the main reasons I teach this in my thyroid course is selenium helps the thyroid. So if you run, let's call it the stress, mood, and metabolism test, at home blood spot and saliva test, no needles, nothing like that needed. And you find that your TSH is above a 2.5. You find that your T4 is normal, but your T3 is a little low. It's like call it a 2.1. And you might say, oh, I have a lot of the symptoms of low thyroid. I've got dry skin, cold hands and feet. I've got maybe thinning of the hair, sluggish metabolism, stubborn weight gain, etc. Right? Water retention. All right. Yeah, you may have functionally low thyroid, and the lab test showed that. Okay. But when you're looking at that lab, it's an issue with converting free T4 to free T3. And believe it or not, selenium, it's not the only thing that's needed, but it's one of the major things. Selenium is needed to convert T4 to T3, active thyroid hormone. Believe it or not, selenium is used in that process. All right. It's also can lead to an accelerated process of Hashimoto's if it's low. The next one specifically is for cardiovascular. Those people with lower levels of selenium have an increased risk of atherosclerosis or coronary artery disease. They have a higher incidence of hypertension and stroke, so high blood pressure. And they have impaired heart function and increased risk of cardiomyopathy. All right, a lot of big medical terms there. Basically, people's hearts get weaker with low selenium. Their blood pressure increases with low selenium, and they build up more plaque and stiffening in their heart arteries, which may lead to heart attacks, right? So we don't need to go overboard with selenium, but we certainly need to get our selenium on a daily basis. The next one, this is one of those diseases that I can assure you does not sneak up on anyone. Parkinson's, dementia, and Alzheimer's. They can be tested for decades in advance. So that's the nice thing about them, is that you can find these things decades in advance and then stop them in their tracks. That's the truth. All right. But one of the issues that can lead to these neurodegenerative diseases of the body is low nutrients, B vitamins, higher levels of cortisol, and low selenium, because again, selenium reduces oxidative stress. All right. The next one is cancer. So when I did my big cancer research article, which is free, it's at stephencabral.com/cancer. Please feel free to share it for free to everybody in the world. It is just, instead of writing a book on cancer, I said, what's going to be read more? What's going to be more easily approachable? What's going to be easier for me to add more every quarter, right? And that's an article. So it's stephencabral.com/cancer. It'd be a small book on cancer. It's all there for free, and yeah, it's easy to use. But selenium is always used as a complementary cancer-based therapy. Always. Like you have to have it. And that's because low selenium is literally associated with certain types of cancers. This is not an exhaustive list, but colon-based cancer, lung cancer, prostate cancer are a couple of those. And that's because selenium helps in its free radical damaging protective ability. So it helps to repair DNA. Really important. So that helps against cellular mutations. All right. The next one, more beauty-based, but if you don't have enough selenium, the sun, natural UV rays, is going to induce more oxidative stress and lead to more wrinkles. So really important one there. If you want to cut down on the amount of little pigmentation spots on the skin, you want to work on collagen and elasticity, and you want to reduce wrinkles, increase your selenium. It also increases you increase your selenium, it decreases your chances for skin cancer. Another great one. All right. If you're feeling fatigued in the gym, fatigued walking upstairs, body feels weaker over time, especially in the muscles, could be a lack of selenium, which support mitochondrial health. Another one, we work with a lot of women and men, but with hormonal imbalances, some of those fertility based. So one of the things that we look at is that selenium is absolutely vital for reproductive health, for men in sperm motility, and for women in egg maturation. So just vitally important. And that is why we're always making sure that people are getting enough selenium, which I'll give you the amount in just a moment. It's actually not a very large amount at all. Also can help with miscarriages as well. The next one is detoxification-based issues. So I talked about this in the very beginning as in number one. And that is because selenium allows your body to be able to support liver enzymes, which then enable your body through its natural processes to eliminate heavy metals and environmental toxins like the microplastics everyone's talking about, or phthalates, or parabens, or benzenes, or flame retardants, or triclosan, fluoride, any of these things in the food, water, and air. It helps with that. And that's because it allows your liver. People are like, oh, your liver just detoxifies. Well, how does your liver detoxify, right? It detoxifies things based on nutrients that it needs to support its processes. So it's like, oh, your liver will take care of it. People say that they're just parroting other people. But no, a functional medicine detox really works because it's giving your liver the things that it needs to perform its processes, right? Like, so it relies on its nutrients to perform its processes. One of those is selenium. But selenium also helps with heavy metal detoxification. So mercury, cadmium, a couple things that we see all the time on hair tissue mineral analysis, on the minerals and metals test we see. All right. The last one's a little bit of a bonus one, and that is because there are many people who are looking at how can I protect my hair follicles from thinning or falling out as they age. Now, one of those is to make sure your thyroid is functioning properly. That's a big one. The second is to cut down on oxidative stress, which can literally deteriorate the hair follicles, which are proteins themselves. So selenium is essential for hair health. It's essential for producing more of that glutathione, as I spoke about before, the glutathione peroxidase. But what it does, and this is important, if there's not enough selenium, this is amazing research. It can push the hair. And I have another podcast on this that I want to link up for you. So at stephencabral.com/3282, I go through the 3 different phases. There's kind of 4, but 3 main phases of hair growth. And what happens is low thyroid and low selenium can push the hair into the telogen phase. So this is the resting phase, and it can do that permanently. So it doesn't start to grow. So hair will fall out, but it does not start to regrow. So I will share a podcast where I talk about all the three phases. There's the resting, there's the falling, and then there's the regrowing. And I share all of that with you, how to move the body back into that. And if you're ever looking for, like, I went through this about 3 years ago now, where I lost over 50% of the hair on the top of my head. It was crazy within about 4 to 6 weeks. And I was not ready for that. So I said, okay, look at yourself as a client. What would you do? Don't look at you. Don't, get overly worried right now. What would you do? And I just went to work. And so you can find all of that at stevencabral.com/hair-loss. It's everything on hair loss. Okay. So, and fortunately, again, it's not always the case, but fortunately, many people are able to stop the hair loss and or regrow. All right, so I give you all of those things, and I'm always very honest about that. So there you have it. There's basically 10 plus a bonus reason of why you don't want selenium to be low. The nice thing is you don't need a lot of it. 100 to 200 micrograms per day, not even milligrams, micrograms per day of selenium is going to enable you to make sure that you have enough. So what we always do is good, healthy food, and then we like to use something just called the daily nutritional support, and it's in the daily thyroid support if you need to boost your thyroid, in order to be able to get that selenium. Now, of course, we still recommend good, healthy food, but we want to make sure that you're absorbing it. So we use a really absorbable form of selenium in the daily nutritional support or the daily activated multivitamin and the daily thyroid support. You can use them together if you want. Those are at stevencabral.com/shop. That's what we use in our practice. You can use your favorite brand. That's okay. I just want to share with you exactly what we do. We open source everything at stevencabral.com/shop. That takes you over to EcoLife. So you can just see everything we use in our practice. Again, you don't have to get it there, but that's what we use. Now, how can you also get it through food? Well, there's one main food that's loaded with selenium, and that is called Brazil nuts. So, not everybody's favorite flavor. It's okay. What we do, we call it a thyroid smoothie. So we do our typical smoothie with daily nutritional support. People can add in their daily fruit and vegetable blend, whatever they'd like, their couple wild blueberries, whatever they want to do. But they can add in one Brazil nut. Okay. And then that can be added to, if they want, their daily smoothie, or even 3 to 5 days per week. I'll let you decide what is best for you, but hopefully this was helpful. Again, all the show notes and that test, the stress, mood, and metabolism test, to look at your thyroid, to look at cortisol, to look at all these things, that'll be available at stevencabral.com/3282. That's where all the show notes will be, the at-home lab testing, and then the previous shows on hair growth. And we'll link up everything there that might be helpful. All right, everybody, take care. Have an amazing rest of the day. I'll talk with you tomorrow on the Cabral Concept. Thanks so much for tuning into today's show. Before you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I want to make sure that you're getting our daily content, not missing out on anything functional medicine, wellness, weight gain, weight loss, anti-aging, living longer, stronger, and all of the most cutting-edge research. And if there's any topics you want to hear, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Take care.